Good afternoon to you all. And time is 1500 hours. I think we should start things on time so that
Yes, we can start.
we get the habit of starting the program in time and finishing the program in time. Just to throw some light on the just layout, what we have today, we have the Vice Chairperson, Ms. Vandana Tyagi here with us. So she will introduce about the topic first, and then I will request Dr. Surabhi to
Yeah,
speak
introduce.
about speaker.
Okay.
So, and after that, Mr. Ajoy Shah, who is with us, he will be talking about the topic emerging practices of B2B, B2B marketing, right?
Right.
So it's a very important topic indeed, and we should be thankful to all the organizers and the person who have conceived this and taken it forward. So thank you very much. That I will convey in the vote of thanks. And then moderator, Wing Commander Bhupendra Renjen, I will introduce him in between, and
Right.
even Dr. Surabhi, I think subsequently. But to start with, in time, I think first, may I request Ms. Vandana Tyagi,
Yeah.
Vice Chairperson, ISTD Noida chapter, to speak.
Thank you,
Madam,
KK
to
sir.
you.
Thank you, sir. Everybody can hear me well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
very good.
audible.
Perfect, perfect.
So, a very warm good afternoon to everybody, and thank you for joining for the last month session and the last session of the year. A very phenomenal year, which had given us various learnings in terms of how important it is to talk about the digital initiatives, how important it is, and they play a pivotal role in terms of the new realities which have emerged. They say that most of the organization, even 65% of the business, they have started doing through e-commerce and through B2B. And last 3 months or 5 months have given us the progress which have in e-commerce, which we have seen in last 5 years. And last 10 months of corporate life have given us a progress which we had seen in last 8 years. So it has hastened everything, but it has given opportunity to people in terms of looking at new avenues and capitalizing on the technology infrastructure and various ways of doing things and reaching globally in a far better way. And thank you, Surabhi ji, for picking up such a relevant topic, which will have takeaway for each one of us in terms of our interactions, because we are constantly negotiating, we are constantly marketing, even in our personal and professional life. So each one of us will have our share of learning and key takeaways from the session. And we will also do similar sessions. I quickly wanted to talk about what are the sessions we can possibly do in future, like for next 6 months, and what are your suggestions around that. And if anybody has a speaker around those sessions and have recommendations on any additional sessions which would be relevant for the group, we are happy to do that. Things like digital trust, things like post COVID era, how should we be leveraging HR transformations, how will we make HR function more transformative in terms of bringing in effectiveness in organizations. So all these things which we can possibly do through technology will have huge impact in the way we operate. And we actually bring everybody into front line. And how do sales contribute, how do marketing contribute, how do HR contribute. So all these topics would be highly relevant. I'm open to all suggestions from people. So I will talk about, I thought, inclusion and engagement, new way of trust strategy, digital trust, currency of future, competitive impact of mindfulness and wellness, because wellness and mindfulness are extremely important, because we are not used to this way of working. So and I had COVID problem in my house itself. It had gone severe. So we had been talking about virus. We had been talking about how should we deal with it and how should we deal with post COVID problems. But what we are completely ignoring, that it's isolation is bringing so many problems in individual life, and which in itself is worsening the problem. So that ways, HR has huge role to play in terms of wellness and happiness and bringing them back to the work and in their full stream. So all these things becomes extremely relevant. With this, I will hand over to Dr. Surabhi, and thank you, Mr. Ajoy, for taking the invite for bringing this session forward, and thank you for Bhupendra ji for moderating it. And with this, I will hand over to you, and happy for any other comments from anyone else to talk about the topics and what are things which we can do in next 6 months time, because I look for bringing in and incubating all those learnings in next 6 months and have a big bang start of 2021.
Thank you so much, Vandana. It was a great
Dr. Surabhi speaks.
Right.
I just request I think 2-3 people who have joined us, if they can give introduction, because it will be useful for the speakers to connect subsequently, including Dr. Surabhi and Wing Commander Bhupendra Renjen. May I request Mr. Parag Kumar to just introduce himself, and then after that Swapna Balyan, Sunita Prasad, and Dr. Deepa Gupta. If you can just introduce who have not introduced themselves, because few of us have already talked. Please introduce.
Good afternoon. My name is Parag Kumar, and I'm a practicing management consultant into the areas of quality management systems. So I help organizations who are interested in developing their quality management systems. I do advisory, training, and audit services.
Kalpana ji, please introduce yourself.
Hello, sir.
Yeah,
sir, good afternoon. My name is Swapna, and I'm currently working as a headmistress of St. Thomas School. It's been 4 years since I've been associated with the school, and previously I was working as a Indian Air Force officer, and my last tenure was in Hindon. So I was basically a transport pilot, after which I switched over to into the education sector. And since then, I've been in education as well as training.
Welcome to you as a NC member too from ISTD Noida chapter.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And hope you contribute subsequently.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Development of this chapter.
Sure, sir. Sure. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for joining. And Miss Kalpana now.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon to all. I'm Kalpana, and I am student right now doing my master's in applied psychology from Yale University. Yeah.
Okay.
And you may like to mention she is a international tennis player also.
Okay.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Niharika Agarwal. Dr. Deepa.
Hello everyone, I'm Niharika. I've been working as an event manager since past 1 year, and I've been in this line since past 5 years. And this past 1 year was a huge roller coaster for me as I learned digital marketing and all the B2B connections during my work in BJP due to COVID only. Otherwise, I was in operations.
Okay. Dr. Deepa Gupta.
Yeah, very good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Deepa Gupta. I am Dean, Department of Management Studies in GL Bajaj. And I'm so happy to be part of this learning session. And ISTD has always provided so many good activities and the sessions for the benefit of not only for the corporate, but the students, the trainees, and the society. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ms. Tanya Sareen and Sunita Prasad. Yes, Tanya.
Yeah, hello everybody. My name is Shuchita. Actually, I have joined in from my informal name. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And I would like to introduce myself as, I am currently pursuing this studies and I'm not working anywhere. However, I have experience in the training field as I was training the new, the people who just come out from the colleges and they prepare for their interviews. So I used to help them prepare for their interviews, as well as I also have experience in FMCG company. I did my master's from IIM Calcutta, and now I'm looking forward to make a career in training and development. Thank you.
That's great. Sunita ji.
Hello everyone, I'm Sunita Prasad, wife of Mr. K K Prasad. I'm a special educator and a wellness advisor.
That's
Thank
great.
you.
Thank you for joining. Now hand over to Dr. Surabhi Singh. Please go ahead.
So I proudly would like to announce the name of Mr. Ajoy Shah, who is currently heading the sales training function at JK Tires, and it has been long association with him. Like he has been a great mentor coach also to the 600 strong member teams in their various functional facets of work. He's also responsible for the channel partner orientation and business training. He conducts programs on leadership, communication, and applying principles of time management. So basically, it's a long profile which he has sent to us. So Mr. Ajay, I would just like to express in my words only, he has been a great mentor, in the field of B2B marketing. And today's topic is on emerging practices of B2B marketing, because we have been talking on this B2B marketing a lot, because many of the business companies have been facing a lot of ups and downs owing to this COVID-19 scenario, right? So basically this topic, we have chosen in ISTD Noida because we just want to, give a kind of a support and, kind of a, you can say, mentorship to the various businesses who have been severely affected because of the COVID-19 scenario. And now B2B has also taken a very new facet in the, overall global perspectives, because online, mediums are being chosen by them. So today, our speakers will be talking on this particular perspectives only, that how the online platforms are actually, giving lots of opportunities to the B2B marketing, and how various new market platforms have been, taking use by these B2B marketers for the effectiveness of their businesses. So over to you, Mr. Ajay, and we would be definitely, benefited by your of course, great deliberation, because I know you are a very good speaker. I have, in fact, listened to you also in the past in few of the workshops.
Okay.
Mr. Ajay. Swapna,
yeah, thank you.
Can you mute yourself?
Thank you, Dr. Surabhi, and thank you for getting us connected. Thank you, the ISTD Noida chapter. It's my privilege to be speaking to such a distinguished and very enlightened group. I really hope we'll be able to have good deliberations. And I've been associated with Dr. Surabhi for a long time. I've visited the institute several times and we've spoken on various topics. Thank you, Madam Vanna, for the very warm welcome. I think I don't know if Dr. Deepa recollects, I think we have met at one of the talks that was held at some annual function at India Habitat Center a couple of years ago. That was the GL Bajaj talk, right? So, well, as everybody has said, this particular topic and the last 6 months have been a real roller coaster ride for everyone. And how we've all taken it in our stride is that's what has brought out the difference between success and failure and so on and so forth. Actually, a good organization started adopting or started planning for this in March. My last travel across the country was on 3rd of March, and after that we started shutting down. We had a couple of programs and we started shutting down, and from 15th of March, the management started having a daily preparedness meeting. So what they would do, what they would not do, because we have, at JKTIR, we have exhaustive manufacturing operations. So I've been in the tire industry for just about 4 decades, and I have had an experience in sales and marketing. And for last 10 years, I've been looking after the training function. I look after for onboarding, joinees, knowledge evaluation, all that process, some of which I've already shared in the profile. So without much ado, I'd just like to share a brief presentation. So what I have attempted to do over here is that I have sort of first try to put things in perspective, I mean, how this scenario is and where we are today. I hope the screen is very clear.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
are audible.
Right. I just put on the slide. So, 1 minute. Something that happens on Zoom sometimes, the slide hangs.
No, it takes a little time. If you roll down instead of
Yeah,
clicking.
you can click the mouse or maybe.
No, that's why I put on a slide changer.
Yeah, fine,
No,
fine, fine.
I'll have to sort of first stop the share and then share again. Yeah, is that all right? It's not a full screen. Let's see how it goes, and then we'll go to full screen. So this is the theme, and this is also followed by the IMF. The entire adaptation to B2B is based on the premise that first we had to survive, then we had to revive, and now we're all trying to thrive. And this is a painting that was done at the beginning of the 19th century. And this shows how we've all collectively come together as humanity to support each other. And that is the only way we've all success. So collaboration is one thing that is very essential for this process. So just to give you a little global context, what has been happening, you are seeing this trend of the last 40 years. And the global economy has been sort of steady, except you can make out one dip which happened in 2008 and one dip which has happened in 2020. And the dip in 2020 is very severe. This is the global map where how the economy has performed or are performing. Red are where there is more than 3% degrowth, right? And only China says that they are growing now, and so 1 or 2 countries in Africa, but China data is always suspect. But you can see that most of the countries are in the red. So in this context for businesses to adapt and survive, it's been extremely challenging. This is the global context of unemployment. And in India, the informal sector is very strong in unemployment, which got a real jolt with the demonetization. And so far, the Indian government has not shared figures internationally on unemployment, but we have a 10% unemployment rate, which may be more. Most of the countries of the world are showing 5 to 10%. China says less than 5%, but again, their figures are always very suspect. And South America is very clearly shown. There's an unemployment of 15 to 20%. Now coming to the India story, if you just look at how we have performed in the last 1 year, you can see 4 quarters of last year, 1920. The decline started in Q4, March end, many businesses shut operations. Q1 was terrible. Q2, there's a recovery, and it is possible that end of this quarter, our economy may show a flat curve. So we are following a V-shaped recovery, and maybe there will be some marginal growth in the last quarter of the financial year. This is how our sectors are very performed. This is just to give you, not bore you with data or anything, but just to give you a little context how we are going. The IIP is dipped, it went up. Railway movement is up. Electricity generation is okay. And imports and exports are also on the move. So on the whole, we've had a very quick, what the Reserve Bank calls, we have reflated. The economy is being reflated at a very rapid pace. So the survive mode was on this, complete stoppage of business operations. Then say by May, when the first lockdown ended, there was some gradual resumption of B2B dialogue and gathering of information on ground situation. We really didn't know which of our business partners is operating, which industrial units are operating, what is not happening. We are big suppliers to OEMs. OEMs were totally shut. One or two resumed early, but then they fell into the containment zone. And we had a big challenging situation that the unit may be operational, but it's all in a containment zone. And when you are in a containment zone, in and out movement was impossible. So we ran through the whole process of gathering permits and moving in and moving out. And gradually there were confidence building measures. But the greatest challenge was to stabilize the supply chain and distribution networks because of largely the situation itself, and then on account of the varied state-wise regulations. If something would leave somewhere, then it would be stuck at the truck, would be stuck at some border. We will not allow you transit. We experienced situations like the truck drivers, they left the ports, and when the truck arrived at our godowns, there was nobody to unload. Then we also experienced that the truck driver panicked in between on the highway, went to the nearest thana, said, "Ye ji gaadi," rang up his owner, "Ke maal yahan pada hai, truck yahan khada, main ja raha hu gaon." So all sorts of situations were encountered, and our customers were also very unhappy. Some people, they had paid up for their goods. Some people had not paid up for the goods. So on the whole, the scenario in Q1 was totally chaotic, and we really had to survive because the Prime Minister had said, "Ye jo jahan hai, wo wahi rukega." And that statement itself sort of paralyzed everybody. So gradually Q2 came, that is from June. There was partial resumption of manufacturing and supply chain. As of all of you, I have been exhaustively involved with the corporates and associated in businesses. It is not possible just to switch on and switch off. Switching on and switching off supply chain and manufacturing is not a change. So there was a huge effort to keep some operations moving, even in tires. The boiler shutdown takes a whole week to come back. I was speaking to somebody in the petrochemical industry. They said that they kept their plants on at about 8% minimum capacity to keep it running. And suddenly in the Q3, the demand really shot up. When the demand really shot up, it has taken time for everybody to ramp up production, right? Now, with this uncertain situation, the first thing that picked up was emphasis on payments, especially in digital mode. We had introduced a payment portal about 2 years ago, and the adaptation to by our business partners everywhere was very slow, very slow. But then as they felt the need, because banking operations, nobody wanted to step out, nobody would like to go and collect checks. So digital mode payments, this was the first change that we saw that was there. And customers also, to come out of the uncertainty, they sort of started paying upfront and in, not in hard cash, but cash on delivery, payment on delivery. Then we started connecting with all our channel partners. We started talking to our upstream, downstream, and there was an acceptance of digital communication. There was no travel, there was nothing. So business started adapting to the new scenario very gradually. But those who adapted, they did well. And of course, everywhere we had to follow COVID-19 safety protocols. We had ridiculous situations like opening offices at 5 in the morning because there was a curfew. So we took permission and they said there'll be no transportation allowed during curfew hours, but you can open at 5 in the morning till 9 o'clock. Before office hours, you have to close your office. So fine, we did that. And we found people coming overnight, standing outside the office with payments, depositing payments, and collecting material. We had no means to ship goods up country. And every day we would be tracking, district-wise. All our sales team would be tracking district-wise, which is the red zone, which is the green zone, And wherever the business potential was there, it was all red zone. And wherever there's no business potential, it was all green zone. So it was a big sort of a conflict situation, catch-22 for us. So slowly, as we said, business adaptation to new scenario. So I did start studying how people adapted apart from my own industry. And I came across 3 medium enterprises who have done exceptionally well. So this guy, Hula Global, he was a OEM to garment manufacturers globally, not in India alone, globally. Globally, his business got shut. Now what to do? He said, I have to keep my plant running, I have to keep my labor running. And he converted to mask and PPE kit and all that, but he changed his facilities very fast. So that is how India became self-reliant on PPE kits because of the enterprise of our managers. Again, it showed revival by adaptation. Sri Shakti Enterprises is again a small concern based out of Delhi and Haryana. He was a large-scale utensil trader into a utensil manufacturer, and he had a couple of units in Haryana. They all went put. Nothing to do. So what did you do? He went and sort of started making sanitization and dispenser equipment. The first thing he did was that he established equipment in his own colony, took customer feedback, and he adapted. And within 2 weeks' time, his line started rolling. So the message for adapting to B2B COVID practices is that you have to be very agile on your feet and you have to adapt. Bioline enhanced range of medical equipment. They used to manufacture some augers and all that, but suddenly this situation came and they leveraged the opportunity. They widened their range, and unfortunately, a couple of years ago, the entrepreneur himself had passed away, but his wife took the baton. This is the Goyals in Indore, and they came up with such fantastic equipment because imports had also stopped. So this facilitated import substitution. So this is how people have adapted. I just took 3 case studies from outside the large corporate sector. So we said we follow safety protocols. This is our own godown following safety protocols, because when we reopened our operations after about 45 days, the godowns were in a very bad shape. So safety was the first concern. Offices were sanitized, our product is sanitized, the vehicle is sanitized, everything is sanitized, and the crew, after all, day to day, they find it very difficult to work in hot, humid conditions. That time, if you recollect, was April, May, June, or July were hot and humid. Very difficult to wear safety kits, very difficult to wear masks, very difficult to wear gloves. But somehow, by turn, they did it. And in fact, our godowns turned out to be better than they were in the earlier times. So now coming on to Q3. Q3 led to business revival, but business revival with a different. First of all, things were not as usual. So here the practices really came into place. We did a lot of granular sales planning and forecasting. Now, when you do granular sales forecasting, normally what you say is that the sales team does a forecast and they say that, okay, this is what we'll be requiring. We give them a 3-month window and they said, and they fine tune it at the beginning of the month. But granular sales planning meant that since our own production facilities were not running right to the full capacity or were not able to run to the full capacity, the direction was very clear from the top that we will just be able to manufacture what we need, not what is not.
Let's start after the session. That's right. Someone has already joined us.
Okay, should I wait? The conversation will be over.
I'm fine, thank you.
So then we came into reskilling the teams, reskilling our customers, reskilling people. This is also a very big, important B2B strategy we had to do. Many people didn't know how to handle a video call. Now you'll have channel partners who you would send a link to and they would say, "Humko nahi pata ji." We encourage them to adapt to new equipment. And when they came on to video call, कोई घर में बैठा है, कोई पीछे से घर की बर्तन की आवाज आ रही है, कोई कुछ हो रहा है. And it was right down to basics. So these were things which we really had to do. Then coming down to even our own offices. First, the management was very reluctant for this WFH protocol. But slowly everybody has become used to it. and we're all used to WFH etiquette. In fact, the hours are longer. We had to groom everybody, how to respond calls, be available, and how to communicate. Customer service is a big challenge everywhere. Customer service is a big challenge everywhere. Now, just because the world has stopped doesn't mean that we can stop customer service. So, although this project was on the in the pipeline, warranty processes were made online, and we in this we had to sort of have an element of trust on the customers. You know that koi bol raha hai kharab, he's showing it to us, because normally we establish why, what is the cause of failure. So warranty process for certain category of products was introduced, and that started building the consumer trust, channel partner trust. Overall, things started sort of moving, payments started coming, and then we had to look for new relationship building methods. What do you do when you talk to somebody, when you meet somebody? You have a relationship building, but how do you build new relationship? Everybody's so isolated. So I looked across industries and practices also. So people found innovative ways how to build relationships, and that probably came up more towards the end of Q3. But when we say the thrive mode, slowly the businesses started moving on, and some sort of normalcy was restored. So when there was so much of online thing, the next B2B practice that had to come up was the enhanced need for cybersecurity. We found we were sending a link to somebody to land up somewhere else. And instead of our person seeing, it is the competition who's seeing our program. So cybersecurity became a big need. And overall, this led to accelerated digital adoption. Channel interaction was digital, conferences were digital, our launches became digital, and award ceremonies also became digital. And I checked across the automotive industries. So this is that has become the norm across the automotive industry, and in fact all industries. So just to give you a feel of how digital adoption has accelerated, you can see globally June 17, May 18, and 19 and 20, digital adoption has reached a level of 55%. In Asia Pacific, 54, Europe 55, North America a little more, but India has done very well in digital adoption. And the acceleration has been to the extent of 10 years. Dr. Surabhi and Ms. Bandna also just mentioned it at the beginning of the program. So this is now a familiar sight. We are all talking to each other, but we are talking through screens. We are not on this thing, face-to-face interactions. But this has become so much accepted that people who thought they were forced to accept this, but now they're very convenient. We are doing it from the comfort of our offices, comfort from our homes, right? This is me conducting a training program for our channel partners. This is some of our sales team. They're conducting consumer education, things which we thought would never possible. Pehle ji usko bulao, bithao, chai pilao, ye karo, wo karo, look after, and take up his time and keep waiting कि जो आएगा कि नहीं आएगा, कब आएगा. So whether it was one person or two persons or three persons or 5%, we started pinpointing, and we did pinpointed programs, and that was much, much more successful, right? So now both B2B buyers and sellers prefer the new digital reality. This is across all spectrums, across all businesses. Why? Because it is higher productivity, it's more cost effective. I used to travel 15, 20 days in a month, and sometimes it would cause strain, and even at home, we're wondering whether I'm coming or whether I'm going, and we would maintain orders, catching flights at orders. So all that is all in the past. And every time, in fact, accounts team would be always, it was always a challenge. You're settling one set of bills, and then there's a new set of bills that is coming, and some program you're doing somewhere. We have a research program center in Mysore. So I used to travel there. I used to be there about 2 weeks in a month. Now it was higher productivity, cost effective, safe, and very convenient. We are doing the same things, but we're doing it all virtually. More than 75% of buyers and sellers now prefer digital and remote human engagement, even after lockdown. So flights are there. Flights are operating at about 75%, first 50 and 75 available. But people don't feel the need and urge to travel so much as they would. I mean, we would not think of doing a program, but now it has become a default norm. Only 20% of B2B buyers say that they hope in-person sales will come back, even in sector where field sales are traditionally dominated, such as pharma and medical. They also have now, they have digital communication. Although it does not come under the scope of B2B, but these days, if you go to a restaurant, they will not give you a menu anymore. They will ask you for your number and they will WhatsApp the menu to you. Please choose. They will also digitally inform. So digital has become a sort of a default process for us. Remote selling, a survey world across has said that remote selling is just as successful and in fact even more successful. The new go-to-market model, this is another McKinsey survey, 76%, they're all very happy with this. Traditional in-person sale has dropped from down to 29%. So that is how the world has changed. And digital and conferences of communication have gone up. A little survey was done on this, and they find that video conferences are preferred to audio conferences. Right? How B2B sales have changed during COVID-19? Survey of 3,600 decision makers in 11 countries, 12 sectors, and 14 spend categories have said that 96% of their B2B sales have fully or partially migrated to remote selling. 65% say that remote model is equally or even more effective. And surprisingly, two countries have done well in this, that is China and India, with Spain and UK not far behind. China and India have done very well in this. And now another factor has been identified for poverty or lack of economic development is the internet penetration. So I didn't want to bore you with too many charts, but there is a well-defined chart which shows that countries wherever internet penetration is higher, businesses have taken off. Africa is internet penetration is less. India is okay. China is still very high. So internet penetration and the digital highways, which they are becoming the first highway, is a new practice that is coming. And in this, companies which are got this internet infrastructure, who have developed this infrastructure, they're accelerating it. Companies who are providing these platforms, there was a threat on Zoom, but that is picked up. Microsoft Teams, Google Meet, Google Hangout, Duo. There are so many program platforms. These have really taken off. So in the more closer to the Indian scenario, go-to-market revolution is here and B2B sales has forever changed. Customers also want digital self-service. So like we have also educated our people that like you do your internet banking, you please do internet buying with us. And that saved us a lot of time because the salesperson does not have to run with mundane things like statement de do ji, mera credit note aaya ki nahi aaya, mera tire pass hua ki nahi hua, mera wo last year ka annual benefit pending hai. Go online, become a member of the portal, log in, find out wherever there is this thing. Now for grievances also, we have created what you call a WhatsApp helpline. And I personally am monitoring it. And the dealers are so happy. They said, jo hamare 3 mahine ke program nahi khatam hote the, they cut right across the clutter. It comes to us and we do it. So only 20% of the buyers want to interact with sales reps in person. 95% expect things will remain the same. And 4 out of 5 B2B buyers, even in India, want video conferencing. Right? So this, they expect this model is 80% or existing. They were first thinking that they will cover only current customers. But even new customers, it is just as effective and if not more. Right? So the COVID disease itself is evolving every day. There's a new mutant, there's a new strain, there is something different. The B2B strategies are also adopting, but the skill is in agility. Skill is, like we say, for every action, there is equal and opposite reaction. How we react to a situation is our skill. How we react to a situation is our ability. And well, the B2B situation is fluid and evolving. All economic pundits say that for the first 6 months of the next calendar year, there will be sharp economic recovery, and then it will be sort of flattened out with things becoming more. So I have just tried to cover up what is there, and if there's anything I would like to ask, I'd be glad to answer. Thank you. Over to you, Commander Verma, Dr. Surabhi.
Yeah, I think.
Thank you.
May I request some other people to kindly mute your mic because there is some lot of background disturbance keeps coming in between.
Yes, yes, very good advice from Brigadier Akhil Dixit. Please mute whoever is not talking, and then whenever you want to talk, please unmute it. Now the next turn will come to our moderator, but before that, Dr. Surabhi will speak. And I will just introduce Dr. Surabhi Singh. It's very nice. She has. Sir, Mr. Ajoy Shah, please, you can remove your presentation. Thank you.
Yeah.
Question answer sessions will have
Sure.
other talk gets completed. Right, gentlemen, you all can have your question set, and either you can set it on the chat box or keep ready, and subsequently after all the speaker speaks, we will have question answer sessions. Now coming to Dr. Surabhi Singh, who will be speaking subsequently. Dr. Surabhi Singh has experience of around 20 years in academic and industry. As an ardent researcher, her academic interest areas include digital marketing, consumer behavior, marketing research, CRM, B2B marketing, marketing analytics, and neuromarketing. I think recently she has published a book also on neuromarketing. Congratulations to you, Dr. Surabhi. And others can take advantage of this. She has been active guest speaker at different training sessions for private and
Verma ji, as host, please mute. Please ask everybody to mute. Just सबको mute कर दीजिए आप.
You mute everyone.
Everyone, yes.
Because some people possibly have not heard us.
Now I mute everyone. So I was just reading Dr. Surabhi profile. She is quite a learned and achieved person. Her authored research and cases in marketing have won her accolades at various national and international forums. Currently, she is employed as Associate Professor Marketing in IMS Ghaziabad. She has recently taken up the honorary role in the WICCI as President Ghaziabad City Council.
Yeah.
So I will invite Dr. Surabhi Singh to speak. But before that, we have the moderator today, Wing Commander Bhupendra Renjen. I would like to talk about his profile. He is a Indian Air Force pilot, part of the front line bomber forces. He served Indian Air Force from 1968 to 1989, 21 years, and he was the flying trainer for Flying Branch Cadets. Very good, achieved professional person. And subsequently, after leaving Air Force, he was a manager in Thermax from 89 to 93. Then he became the additional GM, Central Asian Countries, Birla Group of Companies, and he was there for 9 years from 1993 to 2002. As a senior manager subsequently for VFS India Private Limited, he set up UK High Commission visa outsourcing offices in North India. So he has done a lot of work in a different capacity. And then finally, he is the founder and settler of Arise NGO. and his own company, founder and owner, Global Nexus, from 2006 to present. So he is a moderator with us with varied experience. If you would like to speak something, I will invite Wing Commander Bhupendra Renjen to say a few words before Dr. Surabhi takes today's talk. Wing Commander Bhupendra Renjen.
Unmute, sir.
He can unmute and speak.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the
Yes, Wing Commander Saab,
Very
please.
happy to see that we have a large number of ex-Air Force officers here. There are 3 of us out of
yes,
the total
Air Force officers are
16. Wonderful. Very good percentage.
Then we have Army officers also.
Well, you know, most of us are, in our day-to-day life also do a bit of marketing, but marketing, like I run an event management company for the past about 14 years. And we also, whether it's B2B marketing or B2C, a lot of marketing goes in. And this time of the year, the whole of this year, we had to change. And the change was very, very prompt for most of us, and the ones who did not change, they had to close down. In fact, I know good about 70% of the event management companies which closed down. And so this is a very, very pertinent topic to discuss. And secondly, I'm very thankful to ISTD to discuss a marketing subject today. Because mainly it is training or the HR when we talk of ISTD. And it's excellent, KK sir, that you've taken this initiative of going into such management topics also. Wonderful. I'll hand over to Dr. Singh, please.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Dr. Surabhi, please.
Yeah, thank you so much, Commander Bhupendra ji, and thanks to Mr. Ajoy, who has actually given a great deliberation today. In fact, I will start with certain of growth, after 3-4 quarters, and how it is, how we are actually growing with respect to the digitalization, right? Because we actually need to accept the transformation which has taken place in the current scenario. I'm just going to share my screen also, because I also have certain, insights which I would like to share with all of you. Basically, this topic, is just talking from that perspective that, what are the emerging practices which are going to be, very popular in the coming year, because now we are moving towards 2021. And what are the various perspectives which B2B marketers has to consider, because we have actually accepted this fact that unless and until we adopt this hybrid model, we cannot actually move towards the growth in the B2B marketing. Now, when we talk about the B2B marketing, we always say that, it is all about the marketing of product or services, which is given to the businesses, which is offered to the businesses or the organizations. So generally, lots of insights we need to understand. We always try to work in towards this lead generation from the perspective of the sales. Then from the marketing perspectives, we need to work more towards, engagement programs, because again, B2B marketing, lots of engagement programs need to be there, because lots of competitors are there in the market. So again, there have been various changes or various, you can say emerging practices, which are much, required, in the coming year. So this is the first emerging practice which I have tried to show in my slide, that is social selling, personalization and gamification. This is going to be emerging in the coming years, because in the B2B scenario, especially, most of the marketers, they have been very active also in the online market platforms, because we have to accept that digitization has actually, taken a lead role these days. And we need to come out with, multiple ways in which we can actually, access our customers through these market platforms. Now, you must be aware also that in the B2B, we have various marketplaces also, like India Mart we have, then we have E-Trade, E-World Trade, then we have Trade India also. These are the various B2B marketplaces where actually different business parties, they can come together and they can have a, a transaction. So social selling is a way of engaging with our customers. It's another way of generating more and more leads, because again, lead generation is a big challenge, in the B2B scenario. So social selling, if I take example, I may like to give you certain example, like for example, Adobe and Mask, they have been using, LinkedIn. Mask is a shipping company, and they have been using LinkedIn. In fact, LinkedIn, if I talk about, it's a social media platform, it's a professional platform, and most of the B2B marketers have been using LinkedIn, and they have to use LinkedIn because they know through that, they may get lots of business contacts, and business contacts are very much essential to actually grow this B2B marketing, right? To grow this particular, you can say, business in the B2B scenario. So around 80%, businesses, they have been using LinkedIn, and in the coming years also this will grow in an extensive manner. Apart from this, Cisco is again, it's a B2B player, and again they have started using gamification programs to motivate their sales team. And again, in the coming years, lots of gamification, programs will be created by the marketers if they really want to survive in the gamification. When I talk about gamification, because these all are the digital terms which I'm going to use, because these are the emerging practices, and since we are going towards the Web 4, era, Web 4 era is all about where artificial intelligence, intelligent personal agents will be used in a form of a chatbot. You must have seen also many of the marketers, they have started using, these type of chatbots in their overall platform, so that no repetitive tasks can be, done by the human resources. So most of these type of repetitive tasks will be done by the chatbot. So this is a kind of a automation which we are going to see in the coming future. Personalization is again, you must have heard about this term, although, but yes, technology has actually given lots of choices, also lots of engagement strategies through which the personalization is possible. Let me give you some more examples. You must have heard about Bridgestone commercial. Bridgestone commercial, they are also very famous in the tire industry, and they have been using educational videos, and they are, that is being very popular. And in this way also more and more lead generation is taking place. So if the tire industry is taking such a transformation, they are showing such a transformation, and that is why the branding also takes place. If you are making use of digital platform, as Mr. Ajoy also showed in his presentation, it was such a great data which he had shared with us, that how Asia Pacific has shown a great rise in the overall, usage of the digital platforms. And even in Europe and US, they have not shown that, frequency of usage of the, internet. So this kind of a digitization scenario is going to give ample choices also to all of the B2B marketers. And as I said, that, Bridgestone is using educational video so that more and more business context can be created. You must be aware also that generally in the B2B cases, leads are generated through the online trade show, through the trade shows and the exhibitions. They generally, visit such type of trade shows and such type of exhibitions where they can keep their, product portfolios, and lots of business visitors, they come there. But now I tell you, the scenario will change in the coming years, and still it has started also. Cisco has already done the online trade show. So most of the marketers, they will start using online trade shows, because that is the only platform through which, in the global perspective, if I talk about that, we will be able to actually access most of the business parties, through which we are going to have our transactions. Another important practice which will definitely be very much visible in the coming years, that is AI and hyper segmentation. AI, as we all know, that AI is all about where we are making use of chatbots. Chatbot is a small, you can say, robotic, capabilities, automation which is there in the platforms which, is used by the company. Generally, these are a kind of a technology, you can say, support. But it has a robotic capability. It means it's very powerful than a normal, portal kind of a thing. Generally, in a website, we always see a dynamic portals, where, lots of capabilities are there in terms of a search engine and, other various features. But chatbot has more powers, and many of the companies, they have been using their apps also, which is again a application of a mobile marketing, where chatbots are actually attending to the customers. So similarly, our business clients will be attended by these chatbots only. Most of the repetitive tasks will be minimized because of the use of this kind of a technology. So this is again an emerging practice which will be very much visible. HubSpot is again a very important company which is into a B2B and the B2C kind of a systems. They provide these platforms through which, most of the business marketers, they can actually automate their processes. And then, of course, through this kind of a AI and hyper segmentation practices, client insights become more powerful. Personality insights will become more, because unless and until we understand our industrial client intentions and their behavior, we can't actually predict, the overall amount of the transaction which we are going to get from such business clients. So that kind of analytics will also increase because of this AI and the hyper segmentation in the B2B scenario. Then apart from this, another emerging practice which is going to take over, that is virtual reality. In fact, many of the companies, they are making use of this virtual reality. Like, as I told you, once Cisco, they launches a virtual trade show. So that is again a virtual reality. Virtual reality means when we are going beyond this real platforms and going to a virtual platform through which we can actually, get to meet, you can say, multiple clients at the same time. So this can actually give us more power again. And food processing industry, they also uses this virtual reality. Augmented reality, if you see, we just want to make any virtual kind of a products just like a real. Like, for example, many of the marketers, they have been using this augmented reality in their, the delivery of their products also. Like Lenskart, they have been using this augmented reality. Then many of the medical devices providers also, they have also started using AR so as to make the overall marketing of the medical devices very effective. So this also is again another trend which we'll be seeing in the coming years, that is digital acceleration. And Mr. Ajay also talked about this acceleration, that looking at the current scenario, we need to be very much adaptable towards the acceleration of this digital kind of a scenario. We have to automate our marketing. Like he was talking about also, that how during the COVID-19 scenario, even the channel partners, they had to work from home. They were doing everything from remote, because see, if I talk about from the Indian perspective, we know that we have around 60% internet penetration only in our country, as he was quoting also about. So we are not very much high, but still I tell you, major, if I talk about tier 1 cities, they have all these kind of automations companies who are actually working in terms of automation. But yes, there are many channel partners, because B2B generally works with the help of these channel management only, because if the channel management is not there, B2B cannot perform very effectively. So yes, if I talk from the perspective of the channel partners, then again we will take a long way to reach that kind of automation. So of course, but this is again a practice which can actually differentiate us in the global scenario. Email marketing, video, SEO and SEM, they are again the digital terms, because these are again going to be used by the B2B marketers if they really want to survive. And why I'm saying SEO, because again companies, they are become competitive, because as we saw also that during COVID-19 scenario, those who could not adapt, they actually went out of the market. As Mr. Bhupender also was talking about, that how few event management companies had to shut down their businesses. Why? Because they could not adapt to the changing practices which was going in the market. So another practice which is going to be very popular, that is the agile approach. Now, agile approach is all about, when you are actually, like in the COVID-19 scenario also, when we knew that we had to survive somehow, then we also became, quite active, and we started bringing our more kind of initiatives, which could be possible during that scenario. So again, this scenario, of course, since vaccine is almost, in US, we have it has already been given to 1 million people, and still we are also optimistic that we have already almost, we are close to the vaccine in our country, but it will take a long time when this vaccine will be administered to people. But yes, this agile approach can be possible. Like it can actually expand the overall, you can say, scope of the B2B scenario, and Dell actually has been using the same for managing the channel. And this agile approach is again a very emerging practice, which will definitely be popular in the coming years. Then there is account-based marketing, which will again be an emerging practice. Now, what is account-based marketing? Generally, B2B marketing, they are based on the account-based only. So if the B2B marketing is actually surviving just on the basis of the lead generation, then they will not be able to survive. So they need to think of the lead conversions actually, right? So they cannot just rely on the lead generations only, rather they have to think of the lead conversions, and that is what the account-based marketing aims for. So this will again, account-based marketing will have to become, will have to be used by the B2B marketers if they really want to survive in the market, because now more and more competition is there. More and more market platforms have been, like Amazon Business also gives lots of choices, for the business parties to come together and have the transactions. So this will focus on more and more revenues, customer retention becomes possible, sales, marketing integration will be there, and this will create a buyer-centric content also. So more, you can say, power becomes, prominent if he makes use of this kind of a, this particular, aspect of the technology. So this is again a change of the digitization, which we are actually able to see in this particular scenario, right? So I'm just going to share one video, just want to share that social media's, perspectives, which are being covered by many of the marketers. So do we have the time, Mr. Verma? Can I play this video? Again, if the time permits.
Yeah, please go ahead, ma'am. We have 90 minutes. I think we've just taken up about 45 minutes, 1 hour.
Be honest, do you really want to watch a video that looks like this? There's a good reason why presenters use images and videos.
Hello, Karina Essa here from Social Media Worldwide, and in this video I want to share with you the 5 best social media practices for B2B businesses. If you have a B2B company, you might find it trickier to leverage social media for marketing purposes, but many B2B companies have run very successful campaigns, and so can you. You simply need to follow some of the best practices. The first best practice to apply if you're a B2B company is to choose your social media platform wisely. Between Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, it can get quite confusing, and a lot of people make the mistake of creating an account for each platform. If you do, chances are you will end up mismanaging them or feel too overwhelmed or be too time poor to do a good job consistently. This is why it's best to pick just one social media platform where you can target company decision makers. LinkedIn is usually the preferred platform for B2B companies because finding company decision makers is easier than any other platform. The second best practice is to optimize your social media account. In other words, customize it so you stand out from the noise and attract the right audience. This starts by uploading a profile picture that is square. If your picture is not the right dimension, then chances are it will be cut off and make you look unprofessional. If you are the face of your business, the profile picture should be a headshot of you. If you aren't the face of the business, then your profile picture can be your logo. Then, depending on which platform you're using, you might have to upload a banner. Your banner is the first element your prospects will see, and you have approximately 7 seconds to make a good impression and capture their interest. Take into account the size of the banner and never upload any images that are not in the right dimension. If you do, it might lead to part of your image being cut off and make you look unprofessional. It's also critical that your image or images included in the banner are relevant to your business. Too often I see pictures used as banners that do not reflect what the business is about or what the ultimate benefit of using their services is. A banner should always include some copy, more specifically your unique marketing hook or headline. A marketing hook is a short sentence that explains to your audience what you do and the ultimate benefit of using your product or service. Below your marketing hook, you should also add your website URL. Once you've uploaded your banner, it's time to focus on the description of your social media profile. This is a short paragraph explaining who you are, what you do, how you help people, and who you help. For example, you could say business consultant, passionate about helping HR managers hire better performing salespeople in the fastest possible way. Once you've optimized your social media account, you need to put together a strategic plan. Carefully putting together a social media strategy and content plan could be the difference between getting no results or accidental results at best, and actually experiencing an increase in business with real evidence behind it. This is why you shouldn't do anything on social media before putting a strategy and plan together. A social media strategy and plan is simply the summary of everything you plan to do and achieve for your business using social networks. Unfortunately, only a very small percentage of business owners have a carefully crafted social media strategy and content plan, and therefore social media marketing ends up being a waste of time rather than a powerful marketing channel. To put together a strategic plan, you'll first need to set goals, because goals will shape the strategy you will follow. Goals can vary from business to business depending on how competition is performing and what the business needs to achieve to turn social media into an important marketing channel. Once goals have been set, create a content plan. To do so, simply reverse engineer how much content and what type of content needs to be published and when, and how much advertising is needed in order to achieve these goals. Depending on your goals, there are a variety of tools you can can use to track your progress. For example, if your main goal is to increase the number of clicks to your website from Twitter, you can use clickmeter.com as a tool to monitor clicks generated from Twitter in general or from individual tweets. Should your goal be to increase the size of your audience on Facebook, using Facebook Insights will help you monitor your progress. There are, of course, many social media tracking tools that are very effective, such as sproutsocial.com. Remember, a social media strategy and content plan is never set in stone and evolves as your business goals change and should be adapted based on the results generated. The fourth best practice to apply if you're a B2B company is to publish multi-dimensional content consistently. There are many benefits to posting unique and engaging content. First, it allows you to build trust with key prospects. Then it allows you to position you as an expert or the go-to person in your industry. And third, it allows you to remain front of mind. Therefore, publish daily if possible, content that is interesting and relevant to your target audience. This can be anything from industry news, behind-the-scenes footage and pictures of your business, infographics, videos, your articles, testimonials, to humorous content. The key is to vary the type of content so you don't become predictable, as well as add value to your target audience and do it consistently. The fifth best practice to apply if you're a B2B company is to run paid advertising campaigns. There are many reasons you should consider using social media ads. The first reason is because of the current organic reach. Social media platforms such as Facebook have been dramatically decreasing the organic reach of your posts. In other words, they are showing your post to only a very small percentage of your audience. The second reason you should consider putting together a paid campaign is because it's among the most inexpensive ways to get traffic and leads. Another reason is because you have the ability to reach new audiences in a very short space of time. And lastly, you should consider paying for ads because of the wide range of targeting options. You can market to people based on their geographic location, their language, their job title, their interests, their marital status, the people they follow, the media they consume, the mobile device they use, and so much more. So thanks so much for watching this video. Please like the video. We've been getting...
Yeah. So this was basically, shown to, just give an idea on the utilities, which the B2B marketers can actually get by making use of the social media platforms. And because of this, actually, this video basically talks about that how the B2B marketing is going to change in the coming years, with the, of course, digitization, which is becoming very popular also. Of course, the credit goes to COVID also, because COVID has given us lots of, you can say, platforms also, lots of realization also in us that yes, we can make use of digital platforms also, to meet each other and, to have the transactions. Plus, we can actually, we understood the powerful capabilities that digitization could actually bring to us, in the time of COVID-19. So this was all for today. Any question you have, you can ask me. And of course, question answer round will be there. And over to you, Commander Bhupendra.
All right, thank you so much. I think it's been very, very interesting listening to two stalwarts of marketing. And Madam rightly said that that's the silver lining, that COVID did give us a jump in getting into digital transformation and making things move fast. And in fact, today now B2B marketing is all digital, and it's going to stay. I personally feel it's going to stay for a long time. And a lot of youngsters, Madam just mentioned that they're going to introduce, or they've already introduced, a digital marketing package. My only caution is that, in fact, a lot of these youngsters are there doing digital marketing. They should not consider them as masters of marketing, because the classical marketing theory still prevails. Marketing starts before the product is there, and then it ends not even when it's sold, when it's being used also. So that is one thing we, being from the training side, should not forget, that marketers have their own marketing theory, has its own place. And of course, this is a change which has come about in the marketing theory, that a part of it now, and mainly the marketing part, is going to be digital in a very, very big way. However, I'll just like to ask Ajay ji, what do you think of the trust theory, that you have to understand the culture, and the trust only comes when you meet people one to one, with this bit, the digital marketing?
That's a very important aspect. And many times we find in the digital meet, the first thing we do to build trust is to ask the people to switch on their videos. And you come to learn a lot. It's amazing, right? I'll classify it as new customers and old customers. New customers have found it more useful also. Old customers, they are used to you, they connect, so it's a follow-through action, so their digital is fine. New customers, it may take some time. But I also have I go by a very old adage that you must mean what you say and you say what you mean, right? So even if we present something on the video and we deliver it, the trust quotient comes up. तो जो उसने बोला उसने किया और जो उसने किया वही बोला था. So that's a little old-fashioned, but that's how people still go through that. And many youngsters, I don't know why you mentioned youngsters, but many youngsters don't realize that not picking a call or not reverting is a big sign of sort of causing distrust, and it's a big reason for causing distrust. So I always try to make sure that whether you are going to do anything or not going to do anything, I would, to cite a personal example, I have been about nearly 35, 40 years in the industry, and I'm connected to more than 4,000, 5,000 or 6,000 channel partners, God knows how many. But I still have a connect with the first people I met in 1980 and still who I met 10 days ago. Whether you revert to them immediately or whether you do it anything, people have to follow basic things like answering calls. People have to maintain basic things like maintaining the same number. If you cannot answer a call, at least acknowledge. And that is what, yesterday only I gave a long lecture to Airtel people. Airtel people, they had come and their youngster who had come, he was never answer a call. So I just rang up his superior. I said, he's not doing any value to your brand. My work will be done in any case. But if you have to add value to your brand, then you got to teach basic values to people. So trust, yes, sir, is very important, but it has to be done. It has to be done.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Before I move further, I'll just like to say that we have about 15 to 20 minutes to go. I'm going to leave the house open for question answer. But before that, I'll just introduce what we've been doing and maybe one odd question to Professor Singh. Professor, if you can tell me, the video said that choose the platform you want to be. Now, today, most of us, in fact, like I'm also on, my company is on LinkedIn. We're doing a lot of work on WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram. What do you say? Now, she said choose one. And of course, that choice is, I think you also mentioned, is LinkedIn. You think we should close down all the other channels?
No, we should not close down, Commander Bhupender. Actually, there is a way of doing digital marketing. You can actually, just go consistently with one platform, and you can create the connectivity in those platforms so that they can come towards this particular platform only. In this way also, all the traffic will be diverted to only one platform. And generally in the B2B scenario, companies, they have been using LinkedIn. Even I talk about FedEx also. FedEx is again a very famous company. It's a very good company who are very successful also in the overall B2 businesses. They also uses Twitter, and they uses Twitter only for the overall lead generation and all. So sometimes company, they make particular use, like if I talk about General Electric, they use Instagram, and this is very successful, in the overall lead conversion also. They have a very successful social media platform they are using. So companies generally, they have to make use of one single platform for the engagement program. Like there have been many marketers who have been using particular. If we use multiple platforms, it becomes very easy to engage our customers towards different platforms. So not shutting down the other platforms, it's better we create the connectivity, connecting link which can be made. That is called off-page optimization. There is a term, Commander Bhupender, in SEO, search engine optimization, that is called off-page optimization. Off-page optimization is that only where we create various web links, but those web links are connected towards our landing page. Off-page optimization. Through this, what happens, our landing page, whatever one single platform which we are considering as a landing page, that will become more prominent, and more lead conversion will also take. And this will help in the account-based marketing also for the B2B marketers.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll tell you what we had been doing during this time. practically the events finished. In fact, from about mid March till about mid-June, we had not a single event happening. But we were very fast at reacting. So we put the whole team on virtual, and frankly, except for being on the social media, none of us knew what is virtual marketing. So the first thing, I put one team to see what is this webinar business, and we did about around 20 webinars, telling the people, including our customers, and trying to get some new customers on the effect of COVID, then effect of COVID on marketing, and then the psychological effect of COVID. We did some yoga classes. We talked of menu, rest of things. That was one introduction to our clients that we are getting into this bit. Then we got an opportunity. We did a full wedding. In fact, that was right in the beginning. That was around end of April. There was one family. They wanted to have a big wedding, but then the restrictions on COVID, so they said we'll have it in November. And I was talking to them, and finally 2 days before they decided that yes, let's go digital, because it may never, that date may not materialize in the near future. And it's a good thing they changed their mind, and we did their wedding, and it was appreciated. In fact, I was very happy because we had Zoom platform with 100, and they got one more platform put for their family members. So we had about 250 people who attended the wedding, and it was beautifully done. And that gave us a little bit of experience in getting into virtual. Then we, frankly, you mentioned about exhibitions and conferences. I approached we did a lot of work on exhibitions, virtual exhibitions. In fact, we took part in one of the virtual exhibitions to learn. And we wanted to go ahead, and in fact, my proposals are still being worked on in about 2 ministries. I wanted to go in a bigger exhibition so that I get a global clientele. We're still working on it. Plus, we did quite a bit of work, and we are still doing on virtual events for a few organizations. In fact, one of the main organizations, Indian ICCR, they wanted technical support. When they saw that we've done such a lot, we've given them technical support. Pepsi is one of our clients. We've been doing some bit of virtual marketing business with them in events, and that's how it went. Besides that, of course, as you mentioned about the newsletters and the content writing, we improved it. And in fact, that's what I asked. We are on all 4 platforms, and the point is that whoever controls it, he wants to give stress to what he likes. But I think what we will do is give a thought to it and work on it. Now I'll request anyone who's got a question. I'll just see if somebody's put on a chat. Otherwise, we have enough time.
Am I audible?
We have no question.
You can unmute your mics and please go. And please, my request is, before you ask, I think we all know each other, so you don't have to...
Narendra, please go ahead.
Yeah. You see, I have, in fact, out of interest, I have joined this webinar. I have no knowledge of marketing, but as a, the one end of the marketing, that is B2C, being a C, individual C, I have, 2 observations, and the questions are inherent. One is, what I feel is marketing is not about the marketing people only. I think the complete organization markets itself. Right from production, the production people also should take the cue from their other organs like sales and marketing or after sales service, and design or keep changing the product accordingly. And also at the after sales service, that is also part of marketing. Now coming to the the C end of it, once you buy a product, I think after that, your follow-up marketing is very, very crucial, because I find in India, especially, the non, international brands, once they sell a product, after that, if you try to approach them, their customer, that, helpline numbers keep changing. After that, if you happen to get the right number, you find that there are so many, press this, press that, and once you reach the, after holding on for so much time, once you're able to contact, he'll say, sorry, sir, I meant so and so this thing, or he will put in, the it's totally difficult for a customer to get through. So what I'm trying to convey is that in India, the companies need to do a lot on market. Apart from your marketing teams, yes, they are well trained, they are well taught, they are very, very active and vigorous in pursuing the prospective customer, changing his mindset, and then getting him to buy the product. But after that, the companies knowingly, unknowingly, they are destructing their whatever the marketing division has done, the marketing person has done. They destruct their complete overall marketing. If you could give your views or whatever, if I am correct or not.
Well,
Okay.
Bhupendraji, if you
reply.
permit, I'll try to respond to that.
Please, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, there is something which is called a brand, right? And many people associate a brand with just advertising. But what you have raised is a very vital point, is that a brand depends on brand delivery and the brand experience, which is not done by the brand team at all. It is done by people on the ground. So where the marketing team needs to come in and where you have to ensure that your service deliverables are well monitored is where your brand experience is coming in. Brand experience is also comes from the fact that you have to first measure your customers' expectations. People are totally unclear how to handle a customer. We try to keep educating a customer. Like if you have a customer who you're talking to, who is, let's say, owner of a small car, right? He's also an owner of a small car, but his expectations, because of his ethos, will be perhaps little bit moderated. But the person who, let's say, owns a luxury car, and he will have a different set of expectations. Let's say a person owns one truck and a person who owns 500 trucks, right? His set of expectations, the one truck expectation will be totally different. So understanding your customer's expectations, doing your homework on customer, and also ensuring that the brand experience is given right down to the line is extremely important. The Airtel experience, which I was telling you, fortunately I took the name of the person who had come to my house, and I told him, you are going to make or break an Airtel the brand, because he was an outsourced guy. He was an outsourced guy, and he thought he would just make a fool of anybody. I said, no, you can't. So the understanding of the customer and who's going to interact with the customer is there. So what we tell the sales team, what we tell our channel partners is that the management is not going to be where they are. How you pick up the call, how you answer the call, how you respond, that is brand delivery, and you have raised all those points. So that is a constant battle, Narendraji. It's a constant battle.
If I may interrupt,
Yes.
my observation was slightly different. And in fact, you brought out this Airtel. I am also, an Airtel subscriber, and I am really, cheesed off with them because of the, yes, they may be marketing it very well, they may be doing very well, but as a customer in my area, I am keeping this Airtel number due to certain reasons. Because of that, you have 2-3 numbers, and when you put your number as a, when you give that ID for, your OTP and all, so because of that, you're not changing. But you find that once you are a subscriber, after they're just not bothered that in that area, one is able to talk or not, one is able to receive any SMS or not. That is one side. And apart from that, what I was saying is, I feel that the marketing, what we term marketing is what marketing division is doing. I'm trying to bring out the whole organization actually is part of the marketing, right from the production till after sales. If you don't pay attention to the other others experiences, one experience is getting enticed by the marketing people, and then going in for that product. After that, his experience throughout is also, marketing. Then marketing people are not, linked with that. The sales people, the after sales people, and when you have to connect to them, the front end and the back end team, they all are, part of the marketing experience of the customer if the organization wants to grow. And what you're saying is, I think the companies today, if you want to contact with them, you find the one organ of the company or the organization doesn't know what the other hand is doing. And that is how, I think at least in Indian context, not only Indian companies, even multinationals are failing to a large extent to really market their product.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I have one question. May I add before you reply? I think both the speaker, Dr. Surabhi and Mr. Ajoy Shah, both talked about using the social sites in general and digital marketing. Invariably, I find, especially the senior person in the company or institution, they are still so abhorrent about using the marketing. I mean, especially social sites, especially Facebook and Twitter. Even I have found a lot of engineers also, technocrats who write software, who write coding. They are very abhorrent about these social sites. So how to resolve that? If Dr. Surabhi or Ajoy Shah, anybody can answer.
Well, I would definitely like to speak, but ladies first.
Thank you.
So basically, you are saying that they are reluctant to adopt the social media.
Correct.
Right?
Very reluctant.
Okay, fine. So again, of course, I will take up the Mr. Narendra question also, because I just wanted to say that there is a need of redefining the processes, because what has happened in India. Generally, we always make lots of laws, we make lots of recommendation, we are actually chasing technology, but we are not actually redefining the processes, and that is where we are lacking in our different companies. They are not working on, because when we are not, just like, for example, let me give you one example. You must have noticed in banks, when they introduce help desk, it actually had facilitated the whole process for the customers who came, who used to come to the bank for the first time, because that was a kind of a aid which was given in the form of a help desk. So this is a kind of a you are just reducing the you can say discomfort of customer. So unless and until we try to understand the how to improve the experience of customer, which Mr. Narendra was very much correctly highlighting, till that time marketer will not be successful in our country. And that is why most of the multinational companies, they are actually trying to teach us the customer experience. Like, for example, Amazon, it is one of the example of a very good successful marketer who have been showing us that how much customer experience is important. And many of the marketers in India, still they are trying to, we generally copy the technology, we try to copy other companies, strategy, but we never try to define, new processes. And that is where we are lacking. We know much about many things. And many of the softwares, as you quoted, that engineers, they are reluctant to use social media because they have somewhere, in their back of mind that this is not very secure, this is not very safe, this will actually hamper the privacy part. But I tell you honestly, I'm a total digital person. Honestly speaking, I buy all my groceries online, everything comes online. I never go to market, honestly. And this is where I really think that I'm reducing lots of time, I'm wastage, which I used to do when I used to go to market. This is not because of COVID-19 scenario. I have been quite digital in my overall behavior. This is what our India needs to adopt, the practices which can actually reduce the redundant kind of steps which we are actually practicing. So what is happening, like a few of the negative kind of a people who says, social media platforms actually hamper your privacy. Yes, of course, if you are putting something on the social media, that is again up to you only. How much you have to be sane in making use of the social media platforms, right? We have to be wiser in making use of the social media platforms. If we are sharing that we have gone to a hotel, like generally people does, like this live locations they are giving to the viewers. See, again, it is your, you have to define the limitations. You have to define the, the way which we are making use of the social media platforms. So the reluctance is, again, that is an individual decision, which Brigadier Verma, which I would like to say, it's again an individual decision. And again, it is because they have some kind of a mistrust in using of the social media platforms. Otherwise, social media platforms are the best use, I tell you. Honestly speaking, generally in my even marketing academics, experience, I'm just talking about that I never met any of the marketing heads, of the companies. I used to just, communicate through them through mail or some digital medium only. And when they finally came to my campus, then only I met them. So this is called digital transaction, which is possible because of the technology has brought the automation to us. See, we really require some kind of a dynamic people, some kind of a dynamic processes. See, we can't just, if I have a smartphone, it's not necessary I will become a smart person, right? So again, I need to make use of, a certain, you can say, of my acumen to make myself smart by using a smartphone. That is what our marketers are lacking. They are chasing technology, but they are not actually becoming smart in the market. So
Last question.
Yeah, just picking up from Surabhi, there is a website called Rob My House. If I place my live location on Facebook, people can see that, and I'm actually inviting people. So
Actually,
that's how security and knowledge and awareness is very important.
So awareness, security, very, very right, Vandana has quoted. Actually, people are not aware, people are scared. It means more and more type of awareness drive need to be of course introduced by government also, because government has chalked out their Digital India campaign, but they need to bring these type of awareness programs so that more and more people can actually understand the advantages which we can have through the digital media.
I think we all have to put effort. Last question now, I think, because the time constraints. Anybody?
May I?
Not Yal Saab? Yeah, anybody? Who is?
You see, this whole discussion
Yeah.
what we had is, it just, I'm giving a food for thought. You see, in an organization, when you have to distinguish employees, there's a very broad distinction, staff and line. Okay. Staff is all those, specialists. In any organization, in the hospital, maybe doctors or surgeons or whatever. Line is those people who do the mundane duty of the, you can say, HR cycle, right from, recruitment, selection, their promotion, their compensation, everything. That is what we define line and staff. But if you really look closer, every staff or a specialist also does certain line duties. Whatever employees he has under him section, he is responsible for their welfare, for their, even to help them with the pay and promotion and so many things. What I'm saying is, similarly, an organization will be successful when everybody is, if you take the marketing aspect, apart from the specialist marketing people, everyone is marketing the organization. That is what I want to bring.
I understood. Mr. Ajoy Shah? Yes.
Narendraji, I'd like to respond to that. Every responsible organization has a detailed interface program. And the interface program is between the non-core marketing people and the customers. So how that is done? That is the non-core marketing people, they visit the market. That is one. They see the actual user usage and interface. The other is that customers are taken to plants or manufacturing facilities or back-end rooms where an interaction is set up. And that is to educate customers as well as the non-marketing team. So it's all about understanding each other and putting on and seeing things from adopting an outside-inside or an inside-outside view. Most of us, what you're saying is we take an inside-outside view, but we should always take an outside-inside view, that how people view us, how people are looking at us, how they are experiencing and what sort of delivery we are doing, that is very crucial. And talking about that other query Commander Verma mentioned, yes, there's a variation. This is an individual habit. Now, if you look at Anand Mahindra, he's very quick on Twitter, and he does not hesitate in pulling anybody's leg also. Some industry captains, they are there. Our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, whether he has a big team or whatever he has, but every 10 minutes you will find some gyan or the other coming on Twitter, right? So if you follow Twitter, and the other person who leverages Twitter very fast is our Honorable Chief Minister of Delhi. He is so quick on Twitter. He will wish people birthday. He will do it, whether the team is doing it or not. But he is creating a digital experience, right? What the service delivery is on the ground is separate, but he does a good job of it, right, sir? Thank you.
And digital
Before I hand
is
over,
making
before I hand
No,
over
I'm
to
saying-
KK I'm sorry, please go ahead.
And I was saying that digital makes you very vulnerable. Now, one person, one customer is defining your brand value. I remember when Barkha Dutt tweeted to Aditya on Interglobe, and he responded within 2 hours. So it becomes extremely important that CEO of the organization is now responding to the customer. I mean, the brand is at stake. So it's not the brand value is not internally decided. It's decided by each of your customer as well. And since everybody talked about the customer experiences, this brings me to a valuable book, being an HR person, which is Employee First, Customer Second. So what kind of experiences our employees are having internally, and they're feeling like entrepreneur, and they're able to define a brand, to the customer in a right spirit. So, and then we look forward for certain more programs in terms of how do we bring in those biases, engagement, and digital trust further to enrich or embolden the subject further, so we are able to implement that in our organizations. Over to you, sir.
I think you have hit the nail on the head because
Commander Renjen.
So should we start slowly winding up? Thank you so much. I'll leave that to KK to give the vote of thanks. I'll just like to say that it's been very, very interesting, and this is the direction what market is going to take now. That is, one has to get into digital marketing. Yes, KK Verma sir, you rightly said that seniors are not using in the companies, even some of the juniors, Madam mentioned, and that is because a lot of people are scared of a change. They're very comfortable in what they're doing presently, and they don't want to go in for a change. But COVID has brought that a lot of companies, as I mentioned, that our line itself, a number of companies, they didn't want to change, so they said the best is to close down. And a lot of companies changed. And the change is always for the good if you take it in the right direction. So what I would say, rightly so, and that is the idea of, letting people know that this is very important at this stage, and maybe the companies, bigger companies can introduce how to get into it, because that again is a multi-dollar question. Like I asked which platform to get into. Now somebody says, okay, going for videos, what kind of videos do we make? Whether it's the, like I've been uploading a large number of videos. Anytime we do a major event with the President or the Prime Minister of India, we put the video. And then a few months back, my SEM, we have a company doing it, and they mentioned, sir, actually nobody wants to see these videos. So you might as well make something, say, okay, conferences, that what all can you give and what have you done? That's the time you put it into it. Now, these are things that you need to learn with time, but that is only when you're prepared to change and you get into these things. And I think we will close with that, saying that that it's been thrust on us by COVID, but it's a wonderful thing, because now with that, the costs have gone down drastically and the markets are going to become much bigger. And you rightly said, I think maybe that the Indian digital marketing is going to thrive like anything. Yes, India unfortunately has a large number of population, whether it's B2B or B2C, who are not on maybe internet or who are not that conversant with the net, but slowly they will have to change, and they are changing. Right, with that, I will close and I'll hand over to KK Verma sir, and then of course the vote of thanks.
If there is nothing, I will give the vote of thanks. Ms. Vandana Tyagi, shall I proceed?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
First thank goes to ISTD Noida chapter chairperson, Ms. Seema Sinha. Unfortunately, she could not be present today. but she is in Mumbai, and she is driving and giving us vision to have such talks on regular basis. So credit goes to her. And then our ISTD Noida chapter members who have joined and who have contributed all the time. And it is a great pleasure. I will remember few of the name. I think I still there. The video is there. Mr. Parag Kumar, Brigadier Akhil Dikshit is there, son of Miss Madhuri Dikshit.
Ah.
Then we have a Kalpana, I think tennis player. She joined for a while. Swapna Balyan, Dr. Deepa Gupta, Sunita Prasad, Tanya Sareen, and Somya Nautiyal. He remained busy, but he was there. And Desender, somebody is coming even now. So the talk went very nicely, and people participated it, and it's a real encouragement for all of us. And as I share, we are talking about this marketing. I think it's very common. If we see even the sports minister, suppose, are you able to see this?
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, we got your mail also. We got your message.
We can.
Even the sports minister gives a tweet, and he mentioned about the Anil Kapoor. And what I wanted to bring to even at that level, if you see, the Anil Kapoor immediately tweets it back and gives the enough encouragement basically to keep doing such things. So that is the way we do in today's marketing scenario. And that is what I think we need to keep doing. Right? Still the video is there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's share. Just a minute.
Yeah.
Is it gone now?
Yeah.
Okay. So another thanks goes to Wing Commander Bhupendra Renjen for accepting us being moderator for this tough talk and discussion.
My pleasure, sir.
We know pandemic brought us work from home. This is a new concept, and I'm happy the speaker, Mr. Ajoy Shah, as a professional, he could take advantage of this, or this situation provided him the little leverages, and that what he frankly talked about, shared his views, and that's fantastic. Thanks goes to Vice Chairperson Ms. Vandana Tyagi, who continuously remained here with us for encouraging every member, and that's so nice of you, madam. Right? On the line becomes, online is becoming the way of life, and we all have to accept it, as Dr. Surabhi also mentioned, the digital way of life. And Ajoy Shah also mentioned about our Prime Minister. He's leading from the front, doing tweet or making things online. Even all his cabinet discussion and all those things, he makes it online. So that is what we all professionals have to have, those kind of mentality and attitude in present and future. And we at ISTD Noida will keep trying, and we will keep trying to learn the lessons which comes very live basically to our smartphone every day. With this, I give thanks to all of you, to the all participants. And last word, if Ms. Vandana wants to tell something, please.
Thank you so much, sir. This was wonderful. Special thanks to Mr. Ajoy and Dr. Surabhi. This was very insightful. Thanks for bringing in those learnings. I have my share of learning by bringing in one platform, and the biasing and engagement insight which you gave us. So this was wonderful. Thanks everyone for attending the session. Thanks to Gurgia sir for arranging such an insightful session. And thanks to Bhupendra sir for bringing in intelligent questions from his experience in terms of expanding those insights for us. Thank you, everyone. You have a great evening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you. Thank
ISTD
you so much,
Noida.
KK. And
Thank you so much. I also
Thank
happen
you.
to be a member of the ISTD lifetime member. So it's good to
Look
be
forward
with
to, sir.
fellow members.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Right, good day, good day, and Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yes. Happy
welcome
New
to
Year to
Mr.
all of you.
Bhupendra.
And we will see the new program in the new year.
Oh, yes. A wonderful start for the new year. Look forward to your participation in a great way. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I don't